Teacher Talking Sports here, and today marks the last day of the NFL regular season. So let's go bargain shopping for Week 18 NFL DraftKings Sunday action. Of course, not easy. As you know, a lot of fantasy leagues do not play during the final week because guys sit out, guys leave the game early. So, week like this week is not easy to pick, but I'll try my best here. I try to give you some less expensive players that you could use to fill your roster. Of course, if you want guys like Jonathan Taylor, Cooper Kupp, you need some of those inexpensive guys in order to fit with the money allotted. So let's get into it. I'll highlight one quarterback, two running backs, two wide receivers, and a tight end. At quarterback, the guy I would want to say is Trey Lance at 5,500, but it's looking like Jimmy G may play, so I'm going to go $100 cheaper at 5,400 to Jared Goff. Jared Goff listed as questionable, but Dan Campbell said Friday he considers the quarterback probable to play. So, of course, keep your eye on that. They do play at 1 o'clock, so you'll be able to take him out. As you can see in his last start, he scored 20.6. Over his last four starts, he is averaging around 17 points per game. As you can see, he's got 9 touchdowns in his last 4 games compared to just 2 interceptions. And they're playing against a Green Bay team that has the first seed sewn up in the NFC, so he could be facing a lot of backups. Of course, he's got his connection with St. Brown, who has been absolutely dominant the past few games. Jared Goff, good value at 5,400. Running back, let's scroll to 5,300 to start. And we're going to go with Jaret Patterson of the Washington football team. Antonio Gibson and J.D. McKissick are still out. Patterson in his last game, 12 carries. Also 5 targets, catching all of them. Had a rushing touchdown, 20.8 points. Played in 62% of the snaps last week, and they're going against the Giants. I'm a Giants fan. They are awful. Expect Patterson to see a bunch of touches. Let's scroll, and actually I'm going to type them in. Oops, Ron J. Taylor. He's definitely not inexpensive. So let's go to this Taylor, Patrick Taylor of the Green Bay Packers. As I mentioned earlier, the Packers are the first seed in the NFC regardless of what happens. Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon both could be out. If they do play, it could be very limited action. Expect Patrick Taylor to see a bunch of carries. The undrafted rookie saw 6 carries last week, which is a season high. So expect Taylor to be on the field a lot as a $4,000 player. Kind of a risk, but that cheap, of course, you're going to be somewhat of a risk, and he could be definitely a high reward player. Let's go to wide receiver now, and we're going to start with Jamison Crowder of the New York Jets. He's $4,600. Doesn't have an injury designation for Sunday's game against the Bills. Braxton Berrios and Elijah Moore are both out. Those were Zach Wilson's previous 2 favorite targets. Zach Wilson has been playing better of late. Jamison Crowder is very reliable out of the slot. In 8 of his 11 games this season, he has at least 4 catches. Since DraftKings is a PPR draft or fantasy league, Jamison Crowder definitely has value at that price. And let's go a little cheaper to 4,400. Cyril Grayson of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 2 straight games with 81 receiving yards. Mike Evans is out. Not Mike Evans. Chris Godwin is out. I think we all know that Antonio Brown is no longer on the team. Grayson playing a much larger role. Had 8 targets last week, catching 6 of them. Tom Brady does have some records he's chasing after. Pass attempts, pass completions. If he has like 480-something yards, he could break the passing yards record. But expect him to throw quite a bit. Ronald Jones is also out. Leonard Fournette's out. So their top two running backs are out. Cyril Grayson could play a large role once again for the third straight game. And at tight end, let's go to the Houston Texans. Brevin Jordan. Jordan has played a much larger role of late. Um, Last game, he did only have one target, but the previous three games, he was targeted 15 times, catching 10 of those passes for one touchdown at the very low price of $2,700. Jordan could provide excellent value if he could reach the end zone, or even if he could catch three or four balls at that price point. That would still provide excellent value. So there we go. Those are my bargain shopping guys for DraftKings Week 18, the final week of the regular season. Not sure if I'll do this in the postseason. We'll see if how I feel about doing that. Of course, there's a lot of expensive guys. All the good guys are playing. Not going to be many inexpensive quarterbacks. So we'll see how it goes. But those are some guys you could take for cheap. If you want those Jonathan Taylors, those Cooper Kupps, you need some of those inexpensive guys. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Thank you for your support. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.